You have to think about the basics like your next meal all the time. An extremely poor family.
You don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to accomplish great things in life, although it certainly helps. Yet many of today's billionaires had very humble beginnings. Growing up in poverty hasn't stopped these CEOs, celebrities, and economists from reaching the summit of success, and neither should that stop you. Whether you need inspiration, starting your own business, or want to learn how to become a billionaire, check out how these famous people got to the top. Number 10. Oprah Winfrey. Family wealth is not the secret to the unprecedented success of this billionaire and media expert. Oprah Winfrey is now born to a single teenage mother in Mississippi, valued at $3.1 billion, according to Forbes, have running water or electricity while growing up. By concentrating on school, participating in beauty contests, and then working for a radio station, Winfrey made his way into the media world. Her big breakthrough on television was as the host of the local Baltimore talk show People Are Talking. Later came The Oprah Winfrey Show, which went on national distribution in 1986. "I think having wealth is not being used by wealth, but using it," he said. As a person, without coming to a toilet and being in very bad circumstances, I can assure you that the more money you get, it really isn't going to change you unless you're the type of person who defines himself by money. Number 9. Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz, president and CEO of Starbucks, helped Starbucks become the company it is today. A huge coffee retailer with 23,000 retail stores in 73 countries and a market value of about $85 billion, according to Forbes. Of $2.9 billion, he was not born into riches. In an interview with Dr. Mukund Rajan from the group, executive counsel spoke to Schultz about his childhood and what it was like to grow up with less. "When I was 7 years old, I experienced something that touched me deeply, and that I carry with me every day," he said. And that's the scar and shame of being a poor kid living in government-sponsored apartments. Schultz said his father became a broken man after doing many dead-end jobs that offered neither money nor respect. But this difficulty seemed to motivate Schultz to achieve the success he is today. "I would never have dreamed that one day I would be part of a company in which I would have authority, let alone build a company," says Schultz. "I was trying to start the kind of business my father never had the opportunity to work for." Number 8. Ralph Lauren. Known for its high-quality polo shirts and ties, the Ralph Lauren fashion brand is easy to recognize. But did you know there was a time when the iconic fashion designer couldn't even afford to buy clothes? "As a kid, I always liked clothes, but I didn't have the money to buy them," Lauren said in a 2002 interview with billionaire colleague Oprah Winfrey. "Make my own statement. At some point that energy, along with my exposure to movies, became something in a world I didn't know. That something is now a fashion brand with a market value of nearly $8 billion. According to Forbes, Lauren is worth $5.9 billion and is considered one of the richest fashion icons. Number 7. Larry Ellison. Oracle founder and former CEO Larry Ellison was born in New York City but grew up in a petty bourgeois community on the south side of Chicago. "I'll never complain about living in a bad area again after moving from the Lower East Side of Manhattan to an even worse area on the south side of Chicago," Ellison said in an interview published on the Academy of Achievement website. "After my 9th month, I kept my mouth shut about the neighborhood." A 1997 Vanity Fair profile by Ellison described his childhood home as an apartment with no elevator. According to the article, Ellison was raised by his older aunt and great-uncle who were once successful in the real estate sector but lost everything in the Depression. Despite getting off to a humble start, Ellison is now a $61.8 billion billionaire, and Oracle has a market value of nearly $183 billion, Forbes reports. Anyone who works hard and is maybe a little bit smart has the opportunity to do almost anything, Ellison said in an interview with the Academy of Achievement. "It's the American dream that anything is possible here." Number 6. Kenneth Langone. Billionaire self-made entrepreneur and investor Kenneth Langone, who helped found Home Depot, got off to a humble start. In a 2013 interview with One Wire published on Business Insider, Langone said, "If you take risks at my level, not everything you do will work. Where you really lose is when it doesn't work and you start abusing yourself of your qualities and abilities." Today, Langone has a net worth of $3 billion, according to Forbes, and he is proud of that. He said in an interview for Street Smart on Bloomberg, "I worked like hell to be part of the 1%, Langone said. Number 5. Sheldon Adelson. He's the president and CEO of Las Vegas Sands, America's largest casino company. But Sheldon Adelson had to make his $35.2 billion fortune the old-fashioned way. Born to Jewish immigrants from Eastern Europe, he grew up in a rough Boston neighborhood and shared a one-room house with his parents and 3 siblings. "My parents were poor," he said. When they died in 1985, 11 days apart, they didn't even have $100 in the bank. All their life, they gave everything to their children. So I'm not talking about a white shoe fund or a privileged background. To honor his legacy, according to the New York Times, he donated more than $50 million to Jewish schools in Las Vegas and Boston, and an additional $50 million to the Yad Vashem World Holocaust Remembrance Center. Number 4. Alan Jerry. While he now has a net worth of $1.4 billion, Alan Jerry grew up in Liberty, New York during the Depression. As a frozen food retailer, Jerry's father often struggled to support the family on his salary. Jerry then dropped out of high school to serve in the Marines during World War II. He used his GI Bill accomplishments to train himself in television repair and invested $1,500 in 1956 to start a cable company in his hometown. The business grew to 64 cable systems in 18 states. In 1996, he sold the company to Time Warner for $2.7 billion, including $900 million in personal income. Jerry is using the money to start his Granite Associates venture capital fund and has continued to give back to the community he grew up in, including building the Bethel Wood Center for the Arts. Number 3. John Paul Majoria. Founding high-end tequila company Patron Spirits Co. and hair care company Paul Mitchell Systems made John Paul DeJoria a tycoon with a net worth of $3.3 billion. The Eco Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. "We didn't know we were going through really difficult times because everyone was going through the same thing," he said. "I remember one Friday in high school my mom came home from work and said to my brother and me, 'You know, we only have 27 cents between us, but we have food in the fridge, we do have our little back garden and we're happy, so we're rich.'" A truly bizarre story. He was homeless twice before joining forces with Paul Mitchell in 1980 to create the multi-billion-dollar hair care brand. Now he's using his fortune to give back and was even named Philanthropist of the Year 2017 by Variety. Number 2. Harold Hamm. Harold Hamm, the youngest of 13 children, was raised by tenants in Oklahoma who let him work barefoot picking cotton as a child. Despite his family's financial troubles, Hamm announced in a 2014 interview with Forbes that he was inspired by fellow Enid, Oklahoma residents, one of whom was a local potter who spoke to Hamm and his classmates at a school meeting. The founder, president, and CEO of oil company Continental Resources now has $10.1 billion in net worth, but is 16 years old. He had to work at a gas station to support his loved ones. Number 1. J.K. Rowling. In a 2013 interview with the London Daily Mail, J.K. Rowling shared her struggles as a single mother before the Harry Potter books made her the highest-paid author in the world. "I remember 20 years ago, I didn't eat so my daughter could eat," she said. "I remember nights when there was literally no money. Those days are long gone because, according to Forbes, the author earned $95 million between June 2016 and June 2017. Rowling is now a philanthropist and enjoys giving back so much that an estimated $160 million in charitable giving contributed to her fall from billionaire status in 2012. Today, Rowling's fortune is back up to $1 billion, according to Celebrity Net Worth. And with that being said, it's time to end our video. But before that, we want to know how you feel about this. You know what to do. See you in the comment section. I hope you enjoy the video. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.